You got Chris Thomas.
Mark Thompson.
It's your girl Karn.
You're listening to the Running Back Sports Show. Sports for the culture. What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Chilling. Another beautiful day in Philadelphia. You know, Tuesdays. You know how Tuesdays are.
Yeah, man. So, how's everybody's weekend?
Honestly, bro, I don't remember. My weekends are like a blur these days. I don't do too much since I've been.
I'm gonna say a blur. Like, didn't you stop drinking?
I did. That's what I was gonna say. But on the bright side of me, not like indulging in alcoholic beverages, I've somehow found. This is gonna sound so crazy, but I've somehow found more time to see my family. So like a lot of my days have like my weekends have like freed up since it's not surrounded with hanging out with friends and drinking. So it's like I don't even put myself in those situations. So I've been hanging with family more.
And yeah, I know exactly how you feel. My aunt came up from Florida to visit my mom and my sister. They didn't even know I was coming though. I normally go up visit them like every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to see how everybody's doing and everything else.
Yeah, my Sundays have completely freed up. I'm no longer, having mimosas with a shot of tequila anymore. I'm visiting family and loved ones. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. But Saturday felt good. I went to the tap room on 19th in South Philly. It's a bar I used to go to like when I was working down at the Navy Yard with a few coworkers. It just kind of felt good to be back in one of my favorite bars, just drinking. And the one thing I love about bars is that the conversations. Like one conversation I could be just talking about, like we were just talking about Loki and like the Marvel cinematic shows on like Disney Plus. Then the next thing you know, we're just having a full blown conversation about the Sixers.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Outside it's expensive, so I kind of hope we lock down again, or at least get those lockdown prices, because those lockdown prices weren't bad. Now looking to travel isn't as friendly anymore. Everything is either like just too much or just doesn't make sense.
No, my thing is that I don't drink that much. Like it doesn't take much for me to like have a good time. So it's like you gotta know like what to get. Right. So like I get the Citywide every time I go there, which is a shot of Jameson and a Miller High Life.
Bro, you are not in college anymore. Why? Like what? Why are you doing that?
Because it's $5.
I mean, I get the it being cost effective, but that's just terrible.
How's it terrible?
First off, a Miller High Life, I don't care what they say, it's not the champagne of beer. That is horrible. Miller High Life, first off, tastes like water, and I'm immediately running to the bathroom. It give me the BGs, so I don't drink Miller High Life anymore.
Well,
I mean, dude, like, but in the end, like, it's my money. Like, what do I got to flex for buying a $13 drink?
No, it's not. It's not about flexing. It's about if you're gonna spend your money, at least have it taste good.
I mean, listen. Here's the thing: when I go out, I'm just there just to have a good time. I'm not there to get drunk. If I want to get drunk, I'll stay at home.
Fair.
Because the good stuff I got at home.
Oh, what you got at home? What you got that black label?
No, bro. I just hit up wine and spirits and just go home.
As you should.
Yeah.
My great aunt drinks Miller High Life. All right.
Why?
Because she's OG.
Mm.
Yeah, I had a great weekend though. Went to a wedding, so
Ooh.
It was fun.
Did you have a +1?
No, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Met some cool people there at this wedding.
Did you catch the bouquet?
I actually did.
You really caught it?
Yeah,
I was playing with you.
I did. I actually did catch it.
Wow.
Yeah, but one of my like really close friends from Penn State got married to her boo, who's a pastor. So she the preacher's wife now.
Oh, so it wasn't like no.
No, but I mean there was drinks, but it wasn't like it was beer and wine. But it was still lit. And
I was about to say open bar.
No, it was beer and wine, but it was fun. Like it was like a lot of my Penn State friends came from New York, and Philly, and we all met up, and it was lit because it was just like we all used to live together like a Penn State, so it was kind of like a little mini reunion, and we stayed overnight at the Airbnb at the bed and breakfast. So it was actually really fun. I'm really happy for my friend. She was actually my roommate for all 4 years of college, so like we really know each other like in depth. So I'm really happy for her. Congratulations to the newly wedded Pecs out there. Shout out to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Out there, and
can I ask you a question?
Shout out to Philly.
Can I ask you a question? So like did they do like the what's the thing that the men catch? Did they do that toss?
Oh, the garter toss?
Yeah,
they did.
So what happened?
His dad, the groom's dad caught it. But like it's kind of like because they're pastor and the preacher's wife now, so it wasn't getting down like that.
Okay, all right. I was just gonna say
it was a G-rated like ceremony when it came to that, but it was still fun.
I was just trying to see because you said you caught the bouquet, and you know what typically happens when they catch the garter and you catch the bouquet.
No.
Did the Cupid Shuffle come on?
It was G, yeah.
Oh.
Cupid Shuffle,
Better.
all electric slide, all that stuff. So they had like the wedding songs. So it was fun. Like it was beautiful because it was in Lancaster. I know you guys went to Millersville, so I saw some Amish people and like horse and buggy, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like an outside reception, so it was like really pretty. Like just the landscape out in Lancaster is really pretty, I have to say.
And the weather definitely held up for you.
You know, it was nice weather, but it was definitely hot. It was definitely kind of humid, but we made it fun. We made it work. We had a little bottle at the table, you know.
Okay.
So what was litty? Penn State style.
I'm glad you all, feeling good, got love in the air, caught the bouquet. I knew that's why you had a nice little smile when you walked in.
What does me catching the bouquet have to do with anything?
That means you next.
I mean, hey, you never know. You never know. Maybe I will be next. You know?
I mean, that's
not
what
right now, but hopefully, the near future, yeah, we'll be next.
Okay, all right.
Who knows?
That's what it means.
If
when
he's out there, he's out there.
When you out there trying to be Randy Moss at the reception, you next.
I really was Randy Moss though. Like her cousin really kind of like was like at her hand was like in the air, and I like mossed it. I was like, I grabbed it.
Hey, man, she was being aggressive. So.
Yeah, I was being aggressive. Like I really like took the bouquet. She's like, yo, dang, Carm, for real? Her cousin's like, it would be you. I'm like, whatever.
Listen, hold on real quick. All the members of Carm's fan club, listen, y'all. She's ready.
Listen.
She's ready.
Listen, the right man. If the right man comes along, I'm not opposed.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Dang, I'm about to say, like she caught that bouquet like DeAndre Jordan caught that lob over Brandon Knight. Like,
listen, she caught that joint like Odell Beckham Jr. That's how she caught that joint.
Listen, it was all good fun.
I just want to let y'all know if y'all not live on YouTube right now, she cannot stop smiling.
She's happy. I'm happy for her.
Listen, I'm excited for the future,
she got the hair down. She glowing.
No, her hair is laid. That's the first thing I said. Okay, Carm, look at your hair.
I had to show up to the wedding, do it right. You know what I'm saying? For the Penn State fan, my girl Jess. Shout out to Dylan and Jess, the newly Mr. and Mrs. Peck. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The preacher's wife. My girl came a long way. Shout out to her.
And just another disclaimer for the Carm fan club. Her birthday is next month. So
my birthday is in August, people. August 23rd. What's up?
Right around the corner.
Listen,
if y'all smart, start getting y'all gifts early.
August 23rd.
3 days after the God's Day.
Mr. Thompson.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Listen, you make the birthday special, that can really just set off the rest of your year.
Ooh.
Oh.
For everybody out there listening, I don't know.
For her fan club, she's giving y'all the ooh. So if y'all mess it up,
I don't know.
That's on y'all.
Right. You can't finish the job, that's on you.
Wow.
Ooh.
Listen, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's the running backs for sure.
We already know Carm's
hashtag shoot your shot 2021.
Nah, that don't sound inviting. That sound like somebody need to step their ish up.
No, it's invitations. Whoever's open to. I don't know. I don't have. You know what I mean? I'm single.
I mean, look, just like the rest of the NFL, training camp is upon us. So let's see who gonna make it.
Right, exactly. Training camp. Yo, that's a good way to put it, Chris. Training camp is upon us. Okay.
That means we're gonna have another round of NFL season, of course, and most importantly, cuffing season.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So that's what training camp is definitely most important for.
Yeah, speaking of training camp, we're definitely going to get have a deep talk about training camp. We got Jeff Bauer from the Sports Standard calling in at 6:30. We got Kai Carlin calling in at 6 to talk some NBA draft and some Sixer news. Also interviewing one of the players that the Sixers have sat down and talked with. And right now, right before we get into another beautiful edition of Carm's Corner, I'm just going to give the rundown for the latest, biggest sports topics throughout the week. And one of the biggest, hold on real quick. All right, one of the biggest news came out of New Orleans this week as the Pelicans are finalizing a trade to send Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, 2 first-round picks, which include the number 10 overall pick, to the Memphis Grizzlies for center Jonas Valanciunas and the number 17 overall pick, reported by Adrian Wojnarowski. And the Pistons are unsure on taking Oklahoma State guard Cade Cunningham. However, they're still standing pat to make sure that they keep the number 1 overall pick. The Houston Rockets have been very adamant about trading for the number 1 overall pick, but the Pistons have declined every offer, and just recently they declined Oklahoma City's offer, which included the number 6 overall pick and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And speaking of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Oklahoma City says it might take a big haul, but the guard is available. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shot 50, 40, 80 last year, and the guy's a budding all-star. He definitely could help your backcourt if you need it. And speaking of backcourts, All-Star Ben Simmons has been offered in a deal for the Toronto Raptors, reportedly for Red VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, OG Anunoby, and the number 4 overall pick. Toronto, of course, turned him down. So, what do you guys think about all this news so far, especially with the draft coming this Thursday?
I mean, listen, nothing really surprises me when it comes to like the NBA draft and people just denying. I think it's all just in the day just strategic. People just kind of hold out on things because you want people to not know what they're going to do. They don't want to be predictable, and people want to strike when they want to strike. I think with the Raptors, I'm not surprised. I'm definitely not surprised. I mean, as a Sixers fan, I'm glad that they didn't do it. Like, I wouldn't like that.
Whoa. You're not glad that they got 3 players and the number 1 4 overall pick from Ben Simmons?
Like, am I happy that we were going to give away Ben and get that?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that all that. I still think Ben is just like, he has more to offer than that.
What?
Yeah.
Carmen, that would have been a steal. Even I would say yes.
I like Fred VanVleet, but
you get Kyle Lowry, OG Anunoby, Fred VanVleet, and the number 4 pick, which could possibly be Jalen Suggs. Or if Jalen Green...
if we get him in it, then okay. Okay,
it don't matter if we don't get him. That's still a lot for Ben Simmons. If that went down, I would hang up the phone so fast and take
if Kyle's healthy, then yeah. I like Fred. I do like Fred, but OG, I'm not really a fan.
It's really not about Kyle Lowry for real. That's just a salary dump. Like Fred VanVleet, he just got signed to a 4-year, $85 million contract last offseason.
Right.
OG, I'm not even going to try to say his last name right now.
Anunoby.
Yeah, he's an African brother like Embiid, so they.
Could you stop?
He's an African brother like Embiid, so
is he Nigerian? Is he from Sierra? I mean,
he is Nigerian.
Cameroon. He's from Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that where Embiid's from? Cameroon.
Yeah.
Siakam's from Cameroon.
He's Nigerian and he grew up in England.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so cute.
So he got the
accent.
The accent. I was gonna say.
I'm gonna Google him and look up his interview tonight. See? I just want to hear his accent.
Look, now you a fan, and you.
All right, let's bring him on over.
Let's
bring him over now.
And then also with that though, OG, he's a 3-and-D player. Like he's actually like solid defense. He's got good length. And he can knock down some wide open
shots.
shots.
The one that knocked down that shot help the Raptors. Yeah, help the Raptors
in the bubble.
Yeah, in the bubble. Oh yeah, okay.
1.4 seconds left. Yeah,
I'm thinking about somebody else. Okay, you know what? I would take that. I'm sorry. I apologize.
And then,
I apologize. I take it back.
Yeah, and then like I said, and then
I'm thinking about somebody else.
If you get anything from Kyle Lowry, that's love.
And Kyle's a great defender.
And then the number 4 pick.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I would have done that.
Okay, bet. Yeah, I agree. I'm tripping.
But
it's hot.
But to look at it like this, I think Daryl Morey is insane to think that the Raptors would actually accept that trade.
But you got to aim high. It's like aim for the stars, and then you come against you'll be among the clouds.
That is a lot. Like that, I feel like that's more significant. That's like almost up there with the Anthony Davis trade, in my opinion. I mean, minus like, okay, it's not a haul of picks, but the number 4 pick, the top 5 guys this year are going to be solid. They're going to be pretty solid. So if you can somehow manage to get into the top 4 and you still keep Tyrese Maxey and all those other guys, oh my God, that trade would have been fantastic.
Yeah, so your lineup would be VanVleet, Lowry, OG Anunoby, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, and then your bench would be Maxey, Jalen Suggs, Matisse Thybulle.
Seth, is he coming back? Is Seth coming back?
Seth will come back. I believe. I still feel like we would have Seth.
Yeah.
And Danny Green
done. He can go.
Yeah, Danny Green's free agent. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he can kick rocks.
So he talk all that smack, then he want to leave. All right, cool.
Well, that's probably why he did it, because he knows
he's like, I don't care, like whatever. Yeah. True. Okay, yeah. You know what, Mark? I'm gonna give it to Mark. You're right, Mark.
Yeah,
that
would be amazing. When I saw that, I was like, hold up.
But I like Daryl Morey because I feel like he, like you talked about, he's willing to roll the dice and kind of take some chances. That's what we kind of need at this point. We need some kind of something to shake it up because it's just looking a little.
Speaking of chances, and Chris just talked about this. He talked about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, his availability. This is one of the guys that I said in the beginning of last season I would love if we could somehow go ahead and steal him away from Oklahoma City. He is a young, lengthy guard. He's about 6'6". He spent a year playing alongside Chris Paul, where he improved so much to the point where I believe he started averaging 24 and 5 this season playing with OKC.
5 and 5.
Yeah, like I would take that. And what, he's like 22 for me.
Yeah,
that's almost like how he stole James Harden away from from OKC the first time. So if he's able to swindle OKC again and somehow manage to pull off SGA, I would love it. Like if we can trade Ben and get SGA and whatever those bunch of picks that they have, I'm okay with. I'm literally fine with that because he's a bucket.
So you just want to build. You're just like build for the future.
Not only no. It's not about build for me because I'm actually glad that you brought that up because I'm done with the future. I'm tired of people wanting players for potential and
you
picks.
just want for the right now. Like who you think is going to contribute right now next season to get us hopefully back towards like a finals.
Yeah,
right.
I want to win,
right.
And I feel like even if we were able to pull off something like that and get an SGA, he's a perimeter guy. He's definitely a scorer, and all this stuff that people talk about, like the Kings, we got to throw in De'Aaron Fox in the deal. Hey, no lie, we got a young De'Aaron Fox on our team already. So I mean, if we're able to pull off something like that and still possibly keep Maxey, I'm cool with it.
But
if
we got Matisse, though, I think you know what I mean. We can kind of hold it down.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. I'm not opposed to keeping those guys. If
no.
Dame Lillard calls and he said, "Yeah, we're only taking Ben if you throw in Matisse and Maxey," I'm like, okay, goodbye. I'll help them pack.
I know you already said you made that clear.
Yeah, so don't get it twisted. Clear. Like they can still kick rocks.
Let me pose you this question.
Yeah.
Would you do that for Dame, or let's just say Oklahoma City was like, all right, cool. We want Ben Simmons, Shake Milton, and 2 first-round picks. At that point, what would you
for SGA?
For SGA?
Yeah,
I'm getting SGA.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Dame, but at the end of the day, it's about depth, and that's where a lot of these super teams they lack.
So you're saying you would do that over a Dame deal?
Yes.
You would do that over a Dame deal?
Yes, because we still keep Maxey and Matisse, and we're getting picks. Oh wait, you said
no. We give up 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, 2 first-round picks, and then him.
Fine. I'll do it for a 22-year-older who's already averages 25 points per game.
But then here's the thing: with that, you are kind of banking on the potential of him, though.
No, I'm not, because he's going to give the Sixers what we need. Matisse defense is enough, in my opinion, for him to make NBA. What was it, second team?
Yeah,
playing 19 minutes a game.
Well, remember we do already have Joel, so it's like we don't have like a scorer, superstar already. Yeah. So it's like he's just an addition to the superstar scorer we already have.
And not to mention, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander hasn't gotten that massive deal yet, so you're clearing cap for potential. You can get a bunch of mid-level exception guys coming in.
A veteran guy who wants to help.
And not to mention, you can hold out as much as you want because now you have his bird rights. You can wait until like about a year or so to extend him and then use all your resources then in terms of free agency to bring guys in here.
And he's a great combo guard as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was originally a point guard, but when they got Chris Paul, he had to move to the 2.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of he's been a hybrid all this season, kind of pretty much how they put Devin Booker in that situation when they didn't have a point guard at all, and he was both. And then now this season he was just all buckets because he didn't have to play point guard anymore.
You watch OKC games?
I watch SGA. That's all. I mean, that's all you really need to watch.
So you don't watch OKC?
I watch him.
So you just watch highlights?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
But I've seen a few games.
Okay. No, I'm just asking.
What's your question?
No. I just like to just have the whole picture behind your opinion, you know, because we got to think about how we got to these conclusions, you know.
No. All right. So I'm not going to sit here and say I watch a ton of OKC games.
My only concern with him, I've seen some of his highlights too, and I like him. I think he's good.
Yeah.
I guess my biggest thing is just the concern of our focus. Hopefully that our focus on defense will still remain the same, regardless of, you know, the interchangeability of these players. Dame to SGA.
I'm cool
to
off
whoever.
Defense. I'm cool off defense.
What do you mean you're
point.
cool?
Like Ben's defense wasn't that like effective.
No, but I'm not talking about Ben. I'm talking about the team. Ben is
cool.
gone.
We need offense.
But in this deal, you still have Matisse and you still have Joel Embiid.
Right. Joel, I just don't understand how we always forget about Joel Embiid. He's really the defensive anchor. Ben does what he does on the perimeter, but none of that is really like. I'm not going to say none, but a lot of that's not possible without having a 7-foot rim protector behind you and Joel Embiid. So, yeah, that's what I think on that one. And then you said the Pistons #1 pick.
Yeah.
I think they're crazy for not doing that trade. I would have traded it. As you can see, I'm high on SGA. Yeah. Been high on him.
I was a little shocked also because that's still a really good area where you can still get a high prospect and you get a proven guard.
You get a 2-for-1.
Yeah, and then like you can run a Killian Hayes, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander backcourt. You still got Jeremy Grant. Like in the East, that should be enough.
And then what pick would they have gotten? They would have got like
number 6.
Oh my God, they're dumb. I would have did that in a heartbeat.
Maybe they have something else in mind. You know, you never know.
The Pistons.
Yeah, man. The Pistons are coming out this season,
Stop.
man. Back to their former glory.
We can definitely ask Kai when he
We're
comes.
talking about Ben Wallace. We're talking about Chauncey Billups. We're talking about Tayshaun Prince. We're talking about Terrion. We're talking about.
I'm about to say it's been 14 years.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They're coming back, man. They're coming. They're resurging. The resurgence of the Pistons, man.
Not.
Before our eyes. Kai Carlin, call in. Give us your thoughts.
No.
Think about this.
They're not.
The resurgence of the Pistons, people.
They're not.
Oh my god.
They're not.
I'm just messing with you guys. I'm just messing. I'm just
the era of Rodney Stuckley.
Stop it.
98.5 WJYM Running Back Sports.
Yo, Chris.
Yeah, what's going on, Warren?
I just wanted to start by saying, what's cracking? I just want to start by saying, y'all thought I was a madman. Y'all said Brooklyn was going to win. Y'all said Atlanta was going to win. And Philly, I'm sorry, not Philly, but Bucks in 6. Giannis is the best player in the league right now. He has a Hall of Fame resume. I am vindicated. I am validated. And everyone can eat words now.
Eat crow, man. Eat crow.
Oh,
Exactly. Except Carm. Carm doesn't get to eat crow. She's great.
Hey, thanks, Warren. See?
I like you too, Mark, but, she's the star of the show.
That's
So
okay.
I got to, give her the credit.
That's okay. Every star needs a villain. That's why I'm here.
Exactly.
Man.
Don't worry. The league's gonna let James Harden win his Finals MVP next year, and everybody's gonna say he's better than Wade, and everybody's gonna be wrong, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
Mark.
But I've been hearing you guys being really pessimistic about your football team. Why is that? You have a winnable division.
I mean, I just don't understand. I think what happens in this area is that people were so distraught at the way the Sixers went down. But this is why we're such a great fan base and we don't get that recognition that we deserve. We all of a sudden forgot how terrible the Eagles were last year, and now we're just like, oh my God, let's go. It's Eagles season now. It's like that's me personally. That's why I have no expectations, because I didn't forget whatsoever. I didn't forget that debacle that we saw the entire last season. So that's why I'm not crazy high on them at this point. I'll take whatever we take. On paper, they look like they could have a very solid, fast offense. We did just get a cornerback. What was his name again, Chris?
Steven Nelson.
Yeah, Steven Nelson. We just got him, a little bit of help in the secondary, which is, so pathetic because, we had Darius Slay looking very average last year because we wasn't really giving him help over the top. So he looked like an average cornerback. But that's just me personally. Like I didn't forget. I just feel like, the Sixers let the city down so much, and it's like, okay, well now we got to look forward to the Eagles because there's nothing to check out for the Phillies. And nobody barely mentions the Flyers.
Hey, I saw a walk-off last night.
I'm proud of you. See, the thing is, I never thought the Eagles were like a bad team. You guys just had like inept coaching and a ravaged like team. Because I think you guys had like fifth stringers out there at one point.
Oh, we
just
did.
Trying to like hold it together.
Typically.
Like you guys just kept getting hit with just injury after injury after injury
Right.
after injury after injury. Your quarterback died, your running back died, your wide receivers died, your tight end died. I think your tight end had like a punctured lung. Like you guys just had so many injuries, and your coach is just like, well, we're kind of tanking out here, and so. But I think you guys with Jalen Hurts more in the system. You got Devontae. Y'all got Devontae Smith, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts could be a nice combination. Give Miles Sanders the ball, get him some touches. The offensive line holds. I think y'all will be in prime position to win the NFC Least, as y'all say. Because I'm not sold on Dak Prescott and a broken ankle in Jerry World. Washington football team, I'm not sold about their quarterback. They probably would be the scariest team if they had a adequate quarterback, but they don't have that. They have Fitz Tragic out there, so you never know what you're getting out of him.
Hey! For the first few weeks, it's Fitz Magic.
Yeah, it's the first 3 weeks and the last 3 weeks he's Fitz Magic. The other 10, he's Fitz Tragic.
Still had the best throw of the season last year.
But
True.
I don't know. Like I would be more optimistic. I'm optimistic about my Bears. It's the last dance for Aaron Rodgers. I don't have to worry about that headache anymore.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Justin Fields this year? Do you feel you want him to start week 1, or you want Andy Dalton to start the first few weeks and then bring in Justin Fields?
I'm a firm believer. If you're drafted in the first round, like a top, like in the first round, you should more than likely start, especially if we traded up for him. I mean, Andy Dalton, you know what you're going to get, and this league is changing. So I would rather have a quarterback that is smart, has a good arm, and can move out the pocket, as opposed to like just a regular drop back quarterback. You got to evolve, and Justin Fields with an offense, we got Montgomery, we got Allen Robinson, just throw some pieces around him, we can make magic. Because our defense is still top 10. Our running back was 5th in the league in rushing, and we have a borderline top 10 wide receiver, if not a top 10 wide receiver. So we can make stuff happen, and I think we have the quarterback to make things happen.
All right, good to hear. All right, Warren, once again, thanks for calling in. Oh, Warren, just let you know, in case you didn't hear earlier, someone's got a birthday coming up next month, and it's apparently it's training camp season.
Shut up, Chris. Oh, my God. Warren, don't listen to him. Thanks for calling in, Warren. We love to hear from you. We missed you.
Yes, I miss you guys, too, and I'll keep in mind about that birthday.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Warren.
Well, peace, Warren. Once again, you're listening to 98.5 WJYN, 98.5 Running Back Sports Show, Sports for the Culture. If you want to call in, Mark, get the call number.
Of course, 215-763-9596. Yo, we got some comments in the John. What was one of them?
Yo, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Stop. Don't tell me you caught the bouquet. What about the wobble? Carm says, not right now. I'm all ears over here. You got people listening in.
Shout out to my girl Morg. Shout out to BJ Hamilton. Mm-hmm. Thanks for showing love. Shout out to my man Jay. My man Jarrell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you got Morgan says, let me find out. I'm trying to get shows.
Hey, Morgan. She already. Shout out to Minneapolis out there listening.
And then you got J. Crew, who wants that bum? Talking about Ben Simmons.
Jay was like mortified after that, like mortified at him. So Jay, I hear you.
Yeah. Then you got a guy, propping up Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs, Minneapolis born, so he got hurt.
Yeah, I like Jalen Suggs.
Rui.
I mean, even though that what was it? It was the game before they played. When they beat Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Oh no, he plays for Gonzaga. My bad. I had a moment. But no, when he hit that game winner from half court, I forgot who they played that game. But
it wasn't Oregon. It was the team before that.
Yeah.
Dang.
Come on, Chris. Online guy.
UCLA.
All right, UCLA. Yeah. Oh my God. So when he
heartbreak.
I love shout out to UCLA, man.
The only thing about it is when he hit that game winner, that was it for him. He left everything on the court for that game. That's why he ain't have much left for the national championship.
I mean, he had to. He saved the game.
Yeah, he saved the whole season.
Shout out to Juzang. I
like him. He's gonna be a bucket. He's gonna be a bucket.
Yeah.
I'm cool with him.
The guy Juzang from UCLA, he's gonna be nice. Hopefully he gets drafted high, first round at least.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So all right, so we didn't get a chance to really talk about and congratulate the Milwaukee's for being the NBA champions.
Yeah, because the last time we had a show, it was the night of Game 6.
Yeah, so definitely shouts out to the Milwaukee Bucks closing it out in 6, becoming the 2021 NBA champions of the world. We got fresh, new, exciting champions. I thought it was good. It was good. After a while,
Giannis got MVP.
Oh, of course. It was just Giannis's performance. I feel like it's not really talked about a lot. I feel like it was Giannis did this, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't flashy.
But I thought people were giving him props though. He really had just a stand out.
I don't want a 49 piece nor 51.
Listen, 50 piece,
50 performance, and then he went to Chick-fil-A the next day.
Game?
Yes. And then he went to Chick-fil-A.
I know.
It was with the people. It was just listen, give me my nuggets and my tea with. He said, "Let me get a lemonade with Sprite."
Yeah, that's not a bad combo.
I used
to do that when I was a kid. It's not a bad combo.
Yeah, no, it was. I think it was a great game, obviously from Giannis. Drew, Chris Middleton, team effort on that. The PJ
Tucker.
Exactly. Just I think
he's the first one of that old Houston Rockets squad to get a ring.
PJ Tucker.
I tweeted Mark.
That's NBA champion PJ Tucker.
I tweeted Mark. I was like, yeah. So PJ Tucker has a ring before James Harden, and Mark's like childish. I'm just like, listen. I'm just saying the fact of the matter, man. It's just
nobody's
the truth
even
of the
talking
matter.
about James Harden.
I just threw it out there as just a fact, like a fun fact, like an ESPN like Snapple fact. Like, oh yeah.
Come on, you didn't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't need to say it.
But it's just it's just MT here. That's it. It's just Thompson.
I'm up here just enjoying my night, tweeting about the NBA finals.
He was.
She want to bring out stuff that's irrelevant. It's cool.
But listen, I'm happy for them. And you know what? I'm going to say this earlier in the show. Y'all know I used to talk crap about Giannis. I'm not a really big fan of Giannis. And honestly, I'm not going to say he's in my top 5. He's still not. But I want to say I think I was wrong.
Hold on.
Listen to me.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
I want to say I think I was wrong for kind of putting him in a box and not thinking he was a likable guy. We're going to get into that with this other topic we're talking about today too. But I think I was mistaken of not thinking Giannis is a likable guy because like just kind of seeing him and his progression through the finals. And honestly, when he corrected his free throw shot mid-finals, that's when I was like, all right, like I really respect him now because it's like just dealing with the stuff we were dealing with and seeing how someone can actually do it if they're humble themselves enough to do it. It's just like, yo, you got to give him his props because he, as the leader, the most paid player, most highest paid player in the NBA right now, he said, yo, I'm hurting my team and I'm going to like make these adjustments mid-finals. You know what I mean? He could have been like, yo, I'm the best. I'm the star of this team. They can just deal with my one little flaw. You know, he could have did that route, but he didn't. And now his team, now he's a first-time champ. And, you know, the Milwaukee Bucks had their first championship in like 50 years or whatever it was.
Since 1971.
Right.
That's
so
amazing.
I'm like, I really am a fan of Giannis now on just a general level. Like, I'm not going to go all deep into like what I think he ranks of like in terms of my favorite players, but I think I respect Giannis as a player because he played to his strengths. And I've been talking about that all season about how he needs to just play to what you're good at. And I think he did that perfectly and he shined.
I mean, he did get a little bit of help from Monty Williams because boy, did that game when he dropped the 50 in the closeout game, it was kind of hard to watch because it's like, okay, you got Ayton on him, but now Ayton is just giving him the lane. Like he was giving him the lane as if there was help behind him, but I was like, nah, bro, you're the help. Like,
right. Like,
this is your assignment.
The thing is that you can't have Ayton play all that up into Giannis because Giannis will just blow past him.
It didn't even matter. It wasn't even about him playing up. It was him giving Giannis a straight drive. Like, you know Giannis just runs straight. In
the end, there was nothing that the Suns could do. They didn't have the personnel to battle against Giannis.
Who did they put against him after they stopped putting Ayton? They did
Crowder,
right?
And Cam Johnson.
Can't do nothing with that.
Yeah.
They can't.
I mean, again, with like we talked about at the beginning, Milwaukee had that size. You know, they just weren't even when we talked about the Sixers in that matchup, like just the sizing. We talked. I think you said you said it about the Bucks. Wow. How their size and Giannis is like a big concern for you. You thought when the Sixers were going to get there.
I mean,
I said that.
You said it.
Yeah, that's why I said I'd rather face Brooklyn than them. And
I was the other way around because I felt like
because Mark said he'd rather face Brooklyn. No, he'd rather face the Bucks than the Nets. And
because
Chris said that.
I felt like our length could just slow down Giannis. I never really expected for Chris Middleton to do what he did, but I feel like the Sixers defense, they had enough length to actually give Milwaukee trouble. I think we could have beat Milwaukee. I don't care what nobody says. If just one guy just decides to even shoot, we might make a difference.
Well, in the end, it's a moot point because we can't even beat the Hawks.
Well, yeah, you got a point there.
And also you got to remember the Hawks were just as hurt as we were.
Yeah.
So.
Facts. They had like Cam Reddish came in like game 5.
Yeah. Cam Reddish was hurt. DeAndre Hunter was hurt.
Yep.
And like Gallinari, Bojan Bogdanovic was also
got hurt.
And
then Trey was hurt like that other game when he sat out.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like everyone was completely healthy. They were like you said, they were in the same boat as us.
They got killers. Right. People who want to snap out there.
Lollipop boy.
It's crazy because I was sitting there today, just randomly.
Listen, his hair looks like a wet lollipop that fell on the ground. You know,
this is the only light skin she go in on.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why she don't like.
And just like with his clip, you seen that clip with him playing that guy in that pickup in Atlanta or something? Yeah. And he was like, "Yo, whose team is this guy on?" We can't say the word. Whose team is this guy on?
Look at you.
And then he see, look at me, Chris. I'm not cursing. You know, I'm not saying these words. Chris don't have to mute me.
Yes,
but yeah. So I'm like, yo, Trey, relax. Like he is so into himself, but you can't knock someone who believes in themselves because you got to believe in yourself or who will.
Well, did you go through the Twitter thread?
No, what were they saying?
So what happened was when you went through the thread, there was actually a video where Trey caught him on a nice move and Bull kind of stumbled. Then he started talking mad trash to Trey. Like he just wouldn't stop. So then that's when you finally see like that clip where he's like, yo, what team do you play on? Like, come on, you already know who I am.
Oh, so
basically.
he was kind of like baiting him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's on Bull. All that happened to him, that's on him.
Oh, so he was talking smack to Trey, and Trey kind of just like responded.
Why do you talk trash to an NBA player?
Yeah, facts. You got nothing on him.
I mean, everybody's talking to Trey.
Why?
I mean, New York Knicks fans was talking about him, and then
Trey is embracing being the anti-Steph Curry right now.
He's the villain of the story.
They play very similar, but he is not that much likable. I love it.
Yeah.
But just to go back to that NBA Finals, one thing that really I was sitting on my bed as I'm getting ready for the show, and I was really thinking like, Giannis really made that block. You remember when Booker just went around the screen, and Giannis starts to pick up the Booker as the on-ball defender. Booker throws the lob, and Giannis is able to get the block on Ayton. That's incredible. Like, I don't know a lot of guys who can actually do that. And shout out to Giannis's motor. That man was everywhere. He would be,
and not to mention, like before this final started, there was consideration about him not even playing because of that injury.
Yeah,
and for him to come out and just do what he did defensively. And listen, man, it's like I've been telling you. Listen, defense wins championships. When you look at the Bucks championship win, during the down,
you also need a 50-piece McNugget in a closeout game. Come on.
Hey, but I mean, still, they could have got 52, but they didn't.
Yeah, but listen,
like, come on.
But listen, when you look at those signature wins that the Milwaukee has done, their calling card was defense. Giannis getting that block, Drew Holiday getting that steal. Those were those turnaround defensive, stops that turned the series. Because, like in Game 5, if Drew Holiday was on Devin Booker, Drew Holiday got that steal. When everybody says the series don't start until the road team gets their first win. After Drew Holiday took that ball and then they got that alley-oop, that was it for Phoenix, man.
Listen,
I feel that, Mark. But don't act like Giannis's performance on offense. Like, this doesn't even happen if Chris Middleton and Booker don't step up in Game 4. They almost blew Game 5, but thank God Giannis put the team on his back because they couldn't make a bucket.
Yeah, listen, he got a 50 point. He got a 50 point, but he also had 5 blocks also.
Oh, I'm not discrediting that at all, but I don't want y'all sitting here and act like they win that game if you don't drop 50.
Listen, offense versus defense, you can keep the fame. We'll take the glory. Okay,
I'll take it.
We'll take the glory. Meaning the championship. Defense wins championships.
No, that's in the NFL.
That's it.
Well-rounded teams win championships.
Listen, I'm just saying, when was the last time a team that was not good on defense won a championship recently?
It doesn't happen. All of them play defense when you make it that far.
I'm just saying, look at all those defensive teams. Look at all those teams. Toronto was one of the best defensive teams. Lakers was number 1 last year.
Don't forget about the Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors were number 1 also.
But all those teams that play defense.
But I think at the same time, I feel like it's like defense is something that you can consistently do and control. Offense is kind of like you can have an off night. Like you can practice, but sometimes you just can have an off night.
Sometimes the ball just isn't going.
Yeah, it's not. It just doesn't fall. It doesn't fall. So it's like with defense, hang your hat on the defense. That's something you can always consistently control. You see something you don't like, you can make adjustments. You can always kind of, what I mean? It's just your physicality and your commitment to defense.
So
offense, again, like we said, it's just, you can be Booker, like, his percentages, but with some of those games, his shots aren't going down. So it's like you can stop the other team from scoring because you're not scoring as frequently, then that helps you win the game.
Well, what happens if you don't score?
And no one's scoring then. We having a low scoring game.
That's what I'm saying. That's the Sixers in a nutshell if we go back. All that great defense, but we can't score. Who we beating?
But I mean, I don't know. I just say I agree with Chris.
I'm not saying you need like one in particular over the other. I'm just saying when it comes down to it,
you need both, obviously.
Yeah, you need both.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said well-rounded teams win the NBA championships. It's never like a huge disparity when it comes to NBA teams. Like, as high-powered as that offense was in Golden State when they won, their defense was insane as well. Very insane. Definitely anchored by Draymond Green.
Yeah, but that's my thing also. It's like defense, these teams that really play defense that win championships, they don't really get enough credit in terms of what they do on the defensive end.
That's fair. I'll give you that. I just want to take away that it's all defense that wins, because you can look at our Sixers as a prime example. We got all the defense in the world but can't score. That's all I'm saying. So you got to be a well-rounded team to win the NBA Finals.
Yeah, clearly, obviously, yeah, for sure. But like Chris was saying, it's just the emphasis on being committed to defense, which I think needs to be just spoken about more.
Yeah, I get that. So, all right, I just want to switch gears briefly for a second. And my question to y'all is, how frustrated were you guys seeing the Milwaukee Bucks win the NBA championship after the way the 76ers collapsed during the playoffs?
Didn't bother me.
Didn't bother you?
Honestly, it didn't bother me like I thought it would. It was annoying. It was kind of like, really, the Bucks? But at the same time, the way they played is just, you got to just give them their props, like their respect. I'm like, the Sixers didn't handle business. So, we're not there. And it's just kind of like with the Sixers, you always just expect something to drop. So it's not like it was like the shock of the year, the Sixers choked. It's just kind of like, well, the Sixers choked. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right. But I felt happy for the Bucks because I felt like at least it's not a team that truly didn't grind it out, because they had issues. They were down. Like, they were having a lot of down moments. It wasn't an
easy six.
Yeah. They had down moments just in the playoffs in general. They were counted out a lot of the playoffs, with their history. And so I felt like I was happy for them. I was like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
Bobby Portis. Bobby. I was like, okay. Bobby's nice smile. Bobby had a nice smile. Just want to say that. Just to throw that out there.
Okay.
Just to say, and Bobby's not light skinned.
I was about to say that is a dark skinned brother you are referring to.
The one thing I just want to know is, like, who let Brandon Jennings on the float?
Yo, Brandon Jennings is obviously a Milwaukee legend. Okay, they love him over there.
Milwaukee legend. He peaked his rookie year.
I know, but it don't matter. All it takes is one time.
I did want to say that from me being a Sixers fan.
Yeah, how did you feel, Mark? Because I know you were just like, you were done with it all.
I was disgusted.
Right.
I was absolutely disgusted. And a part of the reason I was disgusted is because we now can see that you do not need a jump shot to win an NBA championship and to be dominant, or to be the most dominant player on the court. Now, with that being said, the things that we've all been I know I've been asking for Ben Simmons just to be aggressive, literally just to be aggressive. And that's all Giannis was aggressive. Now, here's the difference between Giannis and Ben. Giannis is the A on his team, so he's got to do it all.
Right.
Ben is the B on our team. So we're asking, if Ben could have even played half of what Giannis did, we would have won an NBA championship. Half. Literally, it's the same play.
So you're saying that Ben needed to kind of open up his role more.
Yes.
If you're get out of his box, get out of his box.
Yes.
Of what he feels like he's good at.
Yes.
Okay, I can agree with that.
That was frustrating
and see, that's why I wasn't upset, because the more you think about what could have been, you get a little bit more upset.
It's all the more reason why we got to get this trade package taken care of.
No. Here's the thing. Listen, you want to know, like, when, like, my anger between, like, them not winning a championship, like, peaked was that Kawhi Leonard shot, because that was out of our hands.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, at this point, I'm like, at this point, I'm not going to let myself just be clouded with that. Because, listen, I'm 28 years old, and I got gray hair coming out of my beard. A lot of that is stress from just watching Philadelphia sports.
It'd be like that.
And listen, I got mad during the 2001 NFC Championship game against the Rams. I got mad when Donovan McNabb threw that pick six against Rondé Barber in the NFC Championship game when McNabb got hurt. The whole T.O. and Donovan McNabb drama when Allen Iverson got traded, when the Phillies started to decline after 2008. I don't got any more stress.
I mean,
to worry myself about Philadelphia.
Chris had the double whammy because the Sixers went out and then the Suns just lost the finals too, man.
Yeah, I know. Like,
Chris is a Suns fan.
Honestly, if anything, I'm not mad about the Sixers. I'm mad about Phoenix, because Phoenix, that was their window. All the stars aligned for them to get out of the West. Anthony Davis went down. The Denver Nuggets did not have Jamal Murray. The Clippers didn't have Kawhi Leonard. Here's the major difference. Even if the Bucks would have lost, Giannis would have took it personally. They would have probably just saddled back up and tried again, because I feel like because Giannis has shown he's that kind of player. Phoenix, listen, as much as Chris listen, here's the thing. Chris Paul, he's already being talked about about opting out of free agency, possibly going to the Lakers. Campaign's a free agent. And not to mention this, the only player that we got long-term now is Devin Booker. DeAndre Ayton's got money coming up. Cam Johnson's got money coming up. Mikal Bridges got money coming up. So there's going to be a lot of money allocated to keep this core. But this core if this without Chris Paul is not going to be good enough to get out of the West again. This was their window of opportunity for them to get out of the West and at least get one championship out of the most bizarre season that we probably have seen.
Yeah, I think the Suns are done. That was their only opportunity.
Yeah, that's why I'm more upset for Phoenix than I am for Philly.
Nah. Kimberly Hooper in the chat, she said, Philly sports in general, LOL, toxic being a Philly fan, always expecting the other shoe to drop.
Hey, Kimmy. Yeah, facts on that, girl. You already know the vibes.
I don't think it's toxic. I think we're actually the best fan base in
we're
all of America.
No, we're pretty toxic.
No, how are we toxic? Because we have expectations.
No, I mean, I'm agreeing with her in terms of the shoe dropping. I mean, I defended our Philly fans on my other show. I was just like, listen, Philly fans rock with you. They just want you to be accountable. Yeah, and I can agree with that. But I do think that it's just the way, like the intensity of holding people accountable at times can be a little overwhelming for people who aren't used to that kind of like tough love. You know, people, especially with athletes.
No, here's the thing. There's tough love and then going out and calling somebody out of their name.
A crumb bum? If you play like a crumb bum, you're a crumb bum,
baby. You a crumb bum.
If you play like a crumb bum, you're a crumb bum.
You a crumb bum.
And then there's burning jerseys and all that, which I'm just like,
which everyone does across the world.
Yeah,
when a player leaves, they burn jerseys.
Yeah, like but
Paul George, OKC, they had trash cans burning his jerseys.
Yeah, and they're pretty toxic too.
I mean,
Kimberly said it's a toxic relationship. LOL. Go hard and get. Oh, my bad. Go hard and get let down hard. That's real. That's why I have no expectations for the Eagles this year. I do it every single year, and that's why. Nope, I'm going in with a clean slate. It just hurts though watching the way that Milwaukee won because it's like, all right, Ben, that's all you had to do, and we would have won. That's all you had to do. So now I'm praying this. I'm praying that there's a fool out there who feels like now they can really change Ben because Giannis just did it. So it's like, hey, Ben, all you got to do is just be aggressive. Just play like Giannis. Be aggressive. Won't need you to shoot. You ain't got to shoot. Just be aggressive and make your free throws.
And listen, it's all good. Nick Nurse will get the most out of them.
Perfect.
If that happens, we'll see.
Perfect.
I mean, but again, you know,
listen,
what's
just give
done
us
is
Kyle
done.
Lowry and OG Anunoby. Listen, I don't need a number 4 overall pick.
What's done is done, man.
I mean, I'll take the number 4. You know, just to have some collateral.
But apparently, Ben is not being responsive to the Sixers camp.
Yeah, how do y'all feel about that?
So what's up with that, Ben?
Apparently, that report was false because they talked on his birthday, and they're actually now playing a motion to actually meet up with him for like their quote unquote off season.
So that's like fake news.
I mean, does it count? I mean, everybody talks to people on their birthday. What was the relationship prior to his
talk
birthday?
on their birthday, meaning like the post that they made?
Maybe. I don't know. It just doesn't look good to me. I just feel like the writing's on the wall.
I mean, regardless, I don't expect him to be back, so it doesn't matter.
I don't really expect.
It's gonna be a moment when he really does leave. When he really does leave, it's like, wow, Ben's really like. It's gonna be crazy for me. Y'all.
Yeah, you're gonna be hurt.
No,
what are you gonna do with your jerseys?
I don't know. I think I'll wear if he succeeds somewhere else. I'm
like Ben Simmons is going. Dang, that's crazy. Why is Tobias Harris still here?
Tobias is cool.
I wear Ben's stuff if I see him succeed somewhere else. I'm still gonna root for him. I'm still a fan of his, even if he leaves the Sixers. I just hope that he don't come back and like. I hope honestly, it's always the big what if. The big what if for Ben is he goes somewhere else, he becomes like a monster. He goes nuts, and the Sixers fans and the Sixers like, dang, we should have just held it out. But it's just kind of like it's the risk you take. You're rolling the dice.
I mean,
I just realized
that's a possibility.
If Ben go to Toronto, he's probably gonna be partying and sex with Drake all the time.
Hey,
listen, it's a possibility. Ben is still young enough where he could turn it around. So it's like it's either you bet on Ben or you bet on somebody else to be better. So obviously, the Sixers have a decision to make.
Listen, in the end, the Sixers owe it to Joel Embiid to get him an accommodating partner.
Right
it's about Joel. It's always been about Joel.
I don't care about Ben Simmons' feelings no more. You owe it to Joel Embiid. The man literally could have sat out the rest of the playoff series, but this man literally walked around the court playing 40 minutes a night on one good name.
Yep.
I'm sorry, like as much as I got no issues with Ben the person, but Ben the basketball player, that's some sucker stuff for me.
No. I'm not talking about Ben's feelings. I'm just talking about just straight up just what he can do. Like I said, if he leaves and he goes somewhere else and blows up and goes nuts, then it's something that the Sixers are gonna, it's always hindsight is 2020.
And listen, that's fine. Listen, I've had the same conversation with one of my homies who I used to work with. It's kind of the same thing with Carson Wentz. The best version of Ben Simmons is not going to happen here in Philadelphia.
It's not.
Just like the best version of Carson Wentz was never going to happen again. That 2017 Carson Wentz we were never going to see here in Philadelphia. So so he might get that in Indianapolis again, but in the end, it wasn't going to happen here.
I agree.
Sucks. It sucks though. It really sucks because obviously we poured into him. It's like a relationship. You pour into somebody, you give it your all, you try your best, and then it still don't work out.
See, that mean it just wasn't a
meant
good
to be.
fit.
Maybe it wasn't meant to be.
That's why sometimes it's you gotta leave.
Move it on. Yeah, that's true. But I'm still gonna root for Ben. I'm still gonna root for him.
But
I'm still gonna.
Right now.
But I'm still going to hope that Ben does well.
I'm not.
I
wish him the best though. Not on like no hater stuff, but like I definitely wish him the best.
Right, and I hope he does well.
I don't care what he does.
I do.
Ben Simmons.
I forgot he's like number 3.
I can't help but wait.
I mean, listen, whatever. It is what it is.
Of course, Carm gonna be waiting forever.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, you're listening to 98.5 WJYM Running Back Sports Show, Sports for the Culture. If you want to call, give the call number, Mark.
215-763-9596.
We do have Kai Carlin talking into the top of the hour, but before we do that,
wow.
We're doing Carm's Corner?
Yeah.
Let me get my theme music, boy.
Okay. Don't call me boy.
You already got some J-Lo queued up?
Yeah.
Let me get my theme music, boy.
Oh, all right. So I guess this is my time.
Right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Running Back Sports Show presents to you
children of all ages, children of all ages
the
out
world,
there.
The world renowned,
Get ready.
the most excited, the highly anticipated Carm's Corner. Hey, yo, Chris, drop some J-Lo.
Oh, but I'm glad.
I'm glad you didn't do no techno this week because the past 2 weeks I have not been able
give me with the J-Lo
to,
classics, man.
Stop like moving when she does it.
Shout out to J-Lo. Let me just start over saying
J-Lo's
this. Okay,
so toxic.
let me just start over saying this. I'm gonna just start the hour like this. Okay, bam. Carm's Corner, yo. Welcome to Carm's Corner. This is where I talk about anything on and popping in the world and sports. You just talk about women because women in sports need to get some more credit. I believe that, so that's what I do. But I just want to say shout out to my girl J-Lo. If you're new to Running Back Sports and you don't know, I'm a huge J-Lo fan for life, forever. Boricua, she's a queen. Just to say that, just sidebar. But besides that, my girl J-Lo is back with her baby boy, her ex-fiance, Ben Affleck, and I'm all here for her. He just had a 52nd birthday, first of all. Shout out to my mom, who turned 53 on July 23rd. J-Lo turned 52 on July 24th. They're a year and a day apart. Shout out to them. Boricua mommies from New York, just to say, sidebar.
What's up, Mama Holla?
Yes. Listen to me. So, with that being said, my girl J-Lo back with Ben, and I could not be happier for her. All the haters, be quiet, sit down, take a seat. So, shout out to J-Lo. Okay, living her best life, not worried about what anybody thinks. Shout out to J-Lo. Okay. Done. All right. So, Carm's Corner for today, we're going to get into the Olympics. All right. Little Olympic action. So, first thing I want to talk about. So this actually includes is mostly women, but one guy is included in this because he's a part of this record. So I want to talk about the 3 Americans who won their first Olympic gold medals for the U.S. in their particular sport. So this is the first time all these individual sports have gotten gold medals in the Olympics history. So the first one is Will Shainer. He won Olympic gold in the men's 10-meter air rifle. So kind of like rifle shooting, which is that's a very I want to say the sport is not obviously it requires no athleticism, really.
Of course, we won a gold medal in that.
But I mean, hey, listen, it's a gold medal and it's towards the U.S. They're the number, so whatever. Fine.
Was it a Caucasian man?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay.
He's 20 years old. He's the youngest man to qualify for the Olympic rifle competition.
Wow.
So he actually holds
nothing but shooters here in the U.S.
So again, he finished with 251 points. He holds the Olympic record now. So that's just him. I had to mention it because he's just a part of the record.
I wonder how he does with the basketball.
Okay, yo, first of all, let's not do that because he is an Olympic medalist. He's 20 years old and like he just accomplished something people work their whole lives for. So let's just give him his props. All right. Again. So number 2. Lee Kiefer. She's a woman. She's the first American woman to win a gold medal in the individual foil event, so fencing. She's 27 years old. She also earned the U.S. their first fencing medal of the 2020 games. Okay. So actually, really cool fun fact about her. Her husband is actually an Olympian too. So they're both in the Olympics. Kind of cute. The third, Anastasia Zolotic. Her first ever Olympic appearance. She's 18 years old, you guys. So just think like that for all these guys to be so young, I think it's amazing. She's the first American woman to win gold in Taekwondo, which I thought was really cool. She's the last American to do it was Steven Lopez in 2004. So this is like a long time coming for like American Taekwondo. So shout out to her. And then I wanted to shout out someone who's not an American, but I thought it was really cool because this is the first for her country. So shout out to Flora Duffy. She's a 33-year-old woman. She won Olympic gold for the triathlon. So if y'all don't know, that's when you do swimming, bike riding, and then a run all at once. So she is from Bermuda. She's Bermuda's first Olympic gold medalist. Bermuda is the smallest country to win a gold at a Summer Olympics. So Bermuda is like breaking all these records this year. Interesting fact about her, what we talked about with our boy OG. She's a dual citizen from Great Britain. And actually Great Britain offered they wanted her, since she's a dual citizen, they wanted her to like represent England in the Olympics, but she turned it down. They offered her more money, more resources, but she was like, no, Bermuda's where my heart is, and that's where I'm going to represent. So she chose to do it for Bermuda and actually won the gold. She won in 1 hour, 55 minutes and 36 seconds. Okay, so she swam, biked, and ran in 1 hour, 55 minutes and 30. That's amazing. Like, I don't know how anybody does triathlons. That's crazy. It's her 4th Olympic appearance. She won 8th place in 2016, just to give you some reference. So it's not like she's been like great forever. Like she won 8th in 2016, and she won the World Triathlon title in 2016, 2017, and has been ranked as high as number 1 in the world at a certain point. Okay, so that's that. And also someone I wanted to bring up too, shout out to Simone Biles. If you guys have been watching the news and it's just kind of been released today, Simone actually sat out of this last trial of women's gymnastics, and women's gymnastics took home the silver. But she sat out not because she was hurt, but for she said she had mental health issues, reasons. And she said in her conference that, she just felt like mentally she wasn't there. It wasn't right. Now I want to give her a shout out because a lot of people will give criticism saying that, listen, you're in the Olympics. This is your team. No matter how you might be feeling, you should be out there, doing your sport. This is what you're here to do. You're here to be in the Olympics. But I want to play the other side of saying that, yeah, of course, obviously you have a job to do, but it's given an emphasis on really taking care of your mental health before anything else in the world, because that's the most important, because you can't pour from an empty cup. If you don't have it, if you can't give for yourself, how can you give to your sport, to your country, to anything? So I give her a lot of credit to have the courage to sit out, because the world is watching her. She's like the GOAT of gymnastics. So everybody is watching her and expecting her to perform. So for her to say, listen, I'm not in the right mental space, no matter how great and accomplished that I am, I still can have feel like I'm not enough, or I'm having mental health issues, or whatever it is. So I think that her having that platform and kind of being open about her reasons, I think it gives people, that freedom to kind of say, hey, listen, when I need this kind of moment, I can take that moment, because she's on the biggest stage at the Olympics. And her team wasn't mad at her and they supported her. Like the one girl, I forget her name. She even said Simone was like, they deserve this medal. This is all them. And her teammate was like, no, Simone, this is because of you too. You just being our teammate and being there supporting us helped us get this win. So I really just like the unity, women coming together, supporting each other. And shout out to Simone for being a young woman and being like the GOAT and still, be having the courage enough to be like, yo, I don't got it. And it's okay, and she's taking that backlash. So shout out to Simone, and shout out to all of our first winners that I just spoke about, our young ladies and our young man, even though y'all was trying to throw shade. Definitely shout out to them. And, and I'm obviously hoping that the U.S. in this Olympics can take more gold. So that's nice. Crime Corner.
Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for listening to another special edition of Carm's Corner. Woo! We'll be back next week, only here at Running Back Sports FM, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesdays.
Thank you, Mark.
Of course, I got you.
Absolutely. Carm does a great job every week.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, guys.
She does excellent. Yeah, that is kind of crazy though. I think it's okay that she didn't participate. With this whole pandemic, I feel like we've put a lot more emphasis on mental health, and I feel like that needs to continue no matter what. I don't care if it's just a moment. I just think it needs to just continue, because mental health is so important, especially in the African American culture. I'm just glad that it's something that has been coming up more, with Naomi Osaka, of course, and then with Simone Biles as well. So ladies, gentlemen, keep taking care of your mental health, because it's so important. And there's nothing wrong with speaking to somebody, writing in the journal, stuff like that, because you got to get some things off your chest. And if you don't, that's just another form of self-destruction.
Absolutely. And once again, you're listening to 98.5 WJYM, Running Back Sports Show, Sports for the Culture. We're near the top of the hour. It's almost time for our interview with Kyle Carlin, Sixers writer for USA Today. It's going to give us some insight about what the Sixers are going to do for the NFL draft, some potential moves that the Sixers organization could do, and what its hometown Pistons could possibly do with that number 1 overall pick.
The resurgence of the Detroit Pistons, people.
Stop.
You heard it here first.
Stop.
You heard it here first.
Man.
Okay, Motor City is rolling. Okay,
Carm, not every team deserves our Philadelphia love. You give the Philadelphia love to everybody. Not everybody.
I'm just playing. I just think it was funny.
Right. You probably rock with Detroit more than
No.
the locals.
Right? They're probably done with it. Like, listen, after the Mouse.
All right. And here's our 6 o'clock. Hey, Kai, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much, man. How you been?
I'm good. You ready to talk about some Sixers basketball with my favorite crew?
Appreciate you saying
So we're his favorite. Oh, man.
What's going on, Carmen? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Yo, first of all, how's been the all season for you? Have you been going to, some tennis matches as well? Buying some cars or getting some property in LA also?
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about maybe heading out to LA, buying some property, but I realized, I'm going to hang out here in, Philadelphia, just hang out and try to relax a little bit, catch up on some sleep.
Yeah. So obviously, the first question that I have for you is, you interviewed one of the players that the Sixers brought in. So when you had the opportunity to talk to him, what was the overall gauge that you got from talking to him?
Yeah, I talked to Austin Reeves ahead of the NBA draft on Thursday, and the Sixers they brought him in for a workout. Reeves is one of the elite catch and shoot players in college basketball. I think if you look at his numbers in his first 2 years of Wichita State before he transferred to Oklahoma, he was in the 99th percentile in terms of his catch and shooting ability from deep. It was something crazy like that. He was really efficient there. His three-point percentage dropped a little bit with the Sooners because his role changed. Oklahoma was actually asking him to do a lot more in terms of pretty much being their offensive hub, asking him to score off the dribble, kind of be the go-to guy. He took a lot more off-the-dribble threes rather than catch and shoot. So that's why his percentage dropped a little bit. I was talking to Austin about it. He said the workouts with Philadelphia went well. It's really just some of the front office guys. They're in there just kind of watching them, getting to know him a little bit more. He's not really a guy who could be there an option at 28, but he'll probably be more of an option at 50. He might not even be there at 50. In all honesty, the Sixers, if they really want Reeves, will have to kind of like move up in second round or something. I feel like he's not going to be there at 50. But yeah, I mean, if they can get a guy like Reeves, he's kind of a prototype of what they need around Ben and Joel.
Yo, Kai, what up? Mark here.
What up, Mark?
What up, Brody? So, question: What rumors have you been hearing involving maybe a possible Ben Simmons trade during the draft or after the draft?
I don't believe they'll get a deal done this week for Ben. I know I don't know if you saw it, Mark. I'm sure Chris or Carmen, maybe you have or haven't. But the Toronto Raptors rejected an offer from Philadelphia. It was Simmons to Toronto for OG Anunoby, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry in a sign and trade, and the number 4 overall pick in Thursday's draft. I'm not sure why Philadelphia wants the 4th pick, just because I believe that a rookie's not going to help the Sixers win a title right now, no matter where they pick, whether it be 28 or 4 or wherever. I just don't feel like drafting a rookie is going to be beneficial for Philadelphia. Like, matter of fact, I think the Sixers actually trade the pick on Thursday. I don't even think they make that pick. Mm-hmm. So when I look at that Philadelphia's draft, they're either, in my opinion, they're going to trade this pick on Thursday, or they're going to maybe make the selection, but they're going to go after a guy who's going to be like a backup big man to Joel. Like Charles Bassey is a guy I'm looking at. He kind of makes the most sense for them, especially if they can't bring back Dwight Howard in free agency. But I would say and this is just my gut feel, I feel like there's like an 80% chance the Sixers trade that pick on Thursday. That's just me.
Okay.
Yeah. Kyle, Chris here. I'm also been hearing about rumblings about the possibility of the Sixers taking Iowa big man Luka Garza. Is there any validity to that report?
I don't think so. Tom Moore of the Bucks County Courier Times today even reported that there's a high chance Sixers trade that pick on Thursday. Like even heading into today, I gave it a 50-50 chance that they trade that pick. But now that I saw the report from Tom Moore earlier, I believe it's an 80% chance they trade that pick on Thursday. Garza is obviously a very talented big. He was terrific at Iowa, and he would be a really nice addition to the team's bench unit. But Garza isn't also going to be the guy that's going to help the Sixers win a championship next season. I don't really see a point in bringing in a rookie who's not going to play this season, and can also be I feel like the Sixers could trade that pick. One guy in my mind at least, would be maybe to the Orlando Magic. Maybe get a guy like Terrence Ross. The Magic are a team that is rebuilding. They're a team that, finally realized they're not good enough. That's why they traded Vucevic and Aaron Gordon. And maybe they're kind of beginning a rebuilding process. Mm-hmm. So if I'm Daryl Morey, I would hit up Orlando and be like, hey, what would it take to get Terrence Ross? We'll dangle you the 28th pick and, maybe another younger piece if you want. And then we can get Terrence Ross in here. And Ross can be a guy who can provide that instant scoring option they need for the second unit. That would just kind of be like my ideal draft scenario for Philadelphia on Thursday.
Yeah. Kai, real quick, I just wanted to switch a little bit to your Detroit Pistons. Rumors came out earlier today that they declined a trade from Oklahoma City for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I believe it's the number 6 pick for Detroit's number 1 pick. How do you feel about that?
A friend of mine actually texted me about that earlier today too. I think it's smart. I'm like, listen, if you're the Pistons, you need a guy who you're going to build around, and you also need a guy that's going to get the fan base excited about the Pistons. And Detroit really has been looking for something to get excited about, maybe since the Chauncey Billups days. So it's just when you look at Cade Cunningham, Cade's kind of the guy that's going to electrify a fan base. He's a guy you can build around. I don't know if you're really going to build around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like Shai to me is a really, really solid role player and a very good player, but I'm not, licking my chops to build around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If you understand what I'm saying there, like Cade is a guy who is supremely talented. Scouts love this kid. He's projected as, a future superstar in this league, once he fully develops and everything. And I feel like if you're the Pistons, it's a no-brainer to make that pick for Cunningham and then pair him up with solid role players they already have, like Sadiq Bey, Killian Hayes, Jeremy Grant had a really good season, Isaiah Stewart, the big fella who looks like he can be a really good player in this league. And then, you still have solid veterans on that roster as well. And then build them around with Dwayne Casey as coach. So I feel like if you're the Pistons, it's a no-brainer. Just take Cade Cunningham and call it a night.
Yeah. So Kai, so you just said that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a solid role player, but there have been reports that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is available via the trade market. Do you think that's something that Darren Morley will probably venture in on and possibly getting Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to Philadelphia?
I just don't know what you give up for him, because I love Shai's game, and Shai is going to I feel like Shai can be like that. That's a really, really good player on a championship team. But what exactly do you give up for him? I'm not trading Ben Simmons for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't know if I really give up Tobias Harris either. For example, because Harris because he had such a terrific season under Doc, and Doc just really seems to unlock everything about Tobias' game. So I don't know if I would trade Tobias for him. And then you could maybe move on to Seth Curry, but OKC won't take just Seth Curry. So when you look at a trade, it's like, what are you really going to give up to the Thunder if you're Philadelphia and for SGA? And pretty much everybody on the Sixers roster is tradable except for Joel. Like nobody on this roster is untouchable, outside of Embiid. But when you talk specifically about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, it's like, what are you going to give up that you're going to feel comfortable about? And it's not going to be Ben. And I don't know if I trade Tobias for him either. So that would be the question to really ask before you hit up OKC about a deal like that.
Yeah. So just to boomerang back over to the Pistons. So obviously, Cade Cunningham, he's 6'8". He's a ball handler, point guard. So who would more so be regarding for the point guard responsibilities? Would it be, building more for Killian Hayes to do it, or would it be Cade Cunningham running point day one?
The more I read into that, I guess it would be like Cade would be the number one, and they would move Killian to the two, because I guess Hayes is a guy who can play both positions for Detroit. And Hayes right now, he did prove during his rookie season. I know he didn't play too much because he was injured, but there were flashes of defensive potential for Killian. Mm-hmm. So I know the Pistons kind of liked him guarding bigger players. So you could have Cade run the point and have the ball in his hands, and then Killian can kind of become more of a spot-up shooter, which I don't know if that is really going to fit his game moving forward. I thought Hayes was able to show some type of 3-point ability towards the end of the season, but you would have to kind of see more of the sample size before Detroit makes that move like a permanent thing. So it'd be interesting to see what they do opening night. I know the NBA announced that the regular season is going to start October 19th. Training camp is going to begin September 28th around the league. So it's definitely going to be interesting to kind of see how a team like the Pistons, for example, the number one pick, they're going to draft a guy who plays the same position as the guy they just drafted last year. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it. I'm interested in this upcoming season. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun just around the league. And we haven't even gotten really into the offseason just yet in terms of free agency and the draft and everything. So we saw one trade happen with Memphis and New Orleans yesterday, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see how each team heads into training camp next season. There's going to be a lot of intrigue around the league for me.
Look at us talking Detroit basketball.
I know, right? Crazy. Kai, question I wanted to ask you, because you just mentioned the Memphis trade. Is there any truth to the Sixers possibly going after Eric Bledsoe?
Oh,
there probably is. I saw that report as well. I mean, there could be a little something there, but I don't know if I'm Daryl Morey, if I'm like chomping at the bit for Eric Bledsoe. Now he could fit in Philadelphia just because they would be asking him to do a lot less than say Milwaukee and New Orleans did in the past, and even Phoenix. But Bledsoe, to me, if you look at his playoff numbers, they're not great either. Like how many times
they're
Bledsoe
atrocious.
kind of shied away come playoff time. So and then listen, the Sixers already have a point guard who already shies away come playoff time. They don't need two of them. So I look at the Bledsoe thing, and I don't know if I would really make that move if I'm Daryl. But if you can get him for cheap, then sure. I mean, yeah, a lot of people have to remember Philadelphia is heading into the free agency period. They only have minimum contracts to offer, that and the $5.9 million taxpayer mid-level exception.
Yeah,
they don't have much money to play with. No. So if they get Bledsoe on a minimum contract, then I mean, sure, because he could definitely outplay that deal and he'd be on a prove it type of thing. But I don't know. I wouldn't be chomping at the bit for Eric Bledsoe. That's just me.
Kai, so obviously we just watched the finals. We saw what happened. So for the Suns, I mean, I think that's like the biggest question mark we were talking about in the league now that, they didn't win the finals and the window that they had, they didn't seize that opportunity. So what do you think is going to happen in terms of like free agency and what the Suns are going to do? Like, what are your thoughts?
In terms of Chris Paul?
Yeah, Chris Paul and just like the rest of the roster besides Booker.
Okay. I know everybody's like, oh, Chris Paul the Lakers want Chris Paul, and it's like, okay, the Lakers only have $9 million to offer Chris Paul. So they're not getting Chris Paul. So the way I see the Paul situation, I feel like he just made the NBA Finals for the first time in his career. 2 wins shy of finally capturing that NBA title. If I'm Chris Paul, I'm seriously considering running it back. That's just me. Or just staying in Phoenix and adding, tweaking a couple different things here and there, and just continuing to try to chase a championship there. Because I mean, Phoenix had a hell of a year, and who knows if the Suns will be able to get back there next year. I personally don't think they're going to be able to, especially if the Lakers come back with a healthy LeBron and healthy AD, because I feel like that was a big difference maker for the Lakers this year. They wouldn't have been a 7th seed if LeBron and AD were healthy. We all know that. So I look at Phoenix and who knows, but I feel like that's kind of Chris Paul's best fit moving forward. Just a team with Booker and just try to run it back again, because him, Booker, and DeAndre Ayton, DeAndre Ayton had a hell of a season. So if those two players can continue to grow, we all know what we're going to get out of Paul. Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder are two, role players who understand what they have to do in terms of, 3-and-D and, rebounding and doing the dirty work and things of that nature. So, yeah, if I'm Paul, I mean, like, why leave Phoenix?
Right. Okay.
Kyle, one last question before we get you out of here. So there's been talks about, obviously Damian Lillard rumors. There's been talks about Bradley Beal putting in his trade destinations in. In terms of if you had to give a percentage, what are the chances of seeing a big NBA trade on draft night?
We could see something big. We really could. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of people need to kind of pump the brakes a little bit on the Lillard and Beal stuff, because unless these two have come out and said, yo, I'm done, get me out of here, we're talking about two guys who historically have been very loyal to their respective teams. Like Lillard has been very loyal to Portland. Bradley Beal has been very loyal to, Washington. And I feel like unless those two guys come out and be like, hey, I'm out, or if Woj or Shams tweets out, these guys have, requested their trades, then I feel like we need to kind of pump the brakes a little bit, because we're talking about two guys who have been very loyal to their respective organizations. So, unless something happens between the next week and a half, then honestly, I don't expect Lillard to be traded out of Portland. Beal could be different, just because Washington has literally not advanced past round one since I think 2017. Beal's been in the league, I think, 9 years now. So, that could be a little bit different. But at the moment, man, I don't see either of those two guys getting traded anytime soon. I think maybe a big move could be Brandon Ingram, maybe. I know Ingram has been involved in a lot of trade rumors recently, and maybe he gets moved draft night. But I don't expect to see Lillard or Beal being moved, unless something changes within the next 24 or 48 hours.
All right, guys, sounds good. By the way, I did say last question, but you excited for Lions training camp?
Absolutely not. 0-17. That's what I want. I want 0-17. I want Jared Goff out of here. I just want the Lions to just go 0-17, get the number one pick, and get the next quarterback. That's all I want. I want the Rams to do well because Matthew Stafford deserves it.
Oh, man. That's great to hear, man.
Tough crowd over there in Detroit.
Extremely. Listen, we expect a lot. We Lions fans expect the Lions to lose every single Sunday. When they win, it is a miracle. We even during the Stafford and Calvin Johnson era, we expected that team to lose every week because they're just the Lions. It's what they do.
It's my mindset this year for the Eagles. It's only right.
Oh, man. What?
Oh, Kai, I saw you out there balling, Kai. I see you.
Oh, yeah. I made it
Kai.
It was a media 3-on-3 basketball tournament by Red Bull. My team made it to the championship game, but we lost 21-16 in the title game. So came up just a little bit short.
Oh, man.
You knocking down threes, Kai? I heard you're a shooter.
Mark knows that's Mark.
Yeah, they lost that championship game because of defense, though.
Dang.
This is true. I gave up the game-winning bucket. I scored 14 on my team 16. So
Oh, wow.
I'll still get my buckets. That's all that matters.
Hey, call you a bucket next time I see you.
You know it.
Appreciate you, Kai.
Oh, man.
Thanks, Kai.
Gotta get that
Mark, Chris, Carmen, love you guys. You guys have a great night. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks,
too.
Kai.
Peace.
Peace. So you gotta get that defense ready, man.
Yo, Kai Carr, shout out to Kai, man. Walking bucket, man.
Absolutely.
They don't
man.
play no defense though.
Oh man.
It's all right. That's my guy though.
Also,
I
shout out.
thought offense wins championships, Mark.
Nah, it's this. I'm telling you, my man plays none. You ever see like that? You see the meme where it's the security guard like just going
Oh yeah,
like
I've
this?
seen. Oh, the guy
People
that looks
just,
like the
letting
Undertaker.
yeah, just letting people through buildings.
Yeah.
That's how Kai's defense is.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Kate Cunningham, who's going to be the number 1 overall pick, going to Detroit.
He about to get rich.
Take him to Detroit.
Yo, I'm done.
not Detroit. No, please.
I mean, he about to be rich. He'll be okay.
He'll turn
In
it
Detroit.
around, man.
Yeah, he'll pull a Luka and what's it called? Luka and Zion. Speaking of Luka, I was up. I think it was like 1:30 in the morning. You know, the Olympics, the basketball games come on.
You saw that? You saw that Slovenia Argentina game?
Yeah,
Yo, Luka was murking them, bro.
killing, yo. He's really tough.
Yeah.
For he's tough.
Can we talk about Team USA?
Yeah.
Yes, I was just about
And
to
how they
segue to that.
They lost to France.
Yeah.
Francais.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Fournier.
They don't have Rudy Gobert, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they
Rudy
do.
Gobert, Fournier.
Yo,
who else they got?
They was hooping on
Who else
them.
is French? Oh, Batum is French.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was all playing.
Who else is French? There. Peoria. He
Yeah.
was on the Sixers.
Yeah.
And then
It
they were
was-
playing. Well, I mean, I was saying they were playing
Look-
big. They put
Oh man, they lucky Tony
Gobert.
Parker wasn't there.
Yeah, I know.
I said.
They played Gobert and Poirier together and kind of like just like smashed
Yeah,
on
2
the.
7-foot.
Right.
First of all, the problem with this Team USA squad is they don't have any rim protectors and they don't have a point guard.
JaVale McGee.
Oh,
Well, listen, the biggest thing with this is they snapped the 25-game Olympic win streak. So they won all 25 games in all these Olympics. They haven't lost. So they just lost. That kind of like messed it up. And they had an 8-point lead, 4 minutes to play in the fourth. And Evan Fournier dropped 28 on Team USA. He dropped 28.
Unusual.
Yeah. And at the end, we got some missed wide open threes from your KD.
Yeah.
Zach
KD.
Levine, Drew
Yeah.
Holiday. Drew Holiday actually kind of saved the team, but then he missed some openings at the end.
What more do you want Drew Holiday to do? The man.
True, he got to find. I mean, he
just
got a
got
ring.
there, like,
he just got
2
a
days
ring.
ago.
Yeah.
He didn't even get the ring yet, for real.
And then the USA is pretty much going to have to win against Iran and the Czech Republic to like
Iran.
Yep,
How they qualify?
they qualified.
They got shooters.
They're playing Iran and Czech Republic next.
They got shooters, bruh.
So yeah, they haven't had a loss since 04. The US hasn't had a loss since 04.
I know this is depressing.
So it's kind of crazy.
We-
and then mind you, the score was 83-76, and they didn't score the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds of the game.
Yeah, they
They
sat
didn't
on
score
74
anything.
for a very long
It's
time.
crazy.
It's bad.
So like, what do we think the problem is?
I think
Is it Popovich?
I'm not sure if it's 100% Pop, but I think it's definitely the team construction. But I think now it's truly safe to say that the rest of the world has caught up. Like the dream team, in a sense, was like kind of bad because now it's like it doesn't matter. You think you can assemble any NBA players and they're just going to go ahead and squash the world. Well, that's not actually happening anymore because a lot of these teams have NBA. There'll be 5, 7, 8 NBA players on one team. So it's not the way that it used to be. And then also these guys don't even play together. Like, okay, you may study film and you know how this person plays and that person plays, but you still need chemistry at the end of the day. For example, there's only 2 players on the team who actually played in 2019 for the FIBA championship. That's Jason Tatum and Chris Middleton. Everybody else weren't even there in 2019 for FIBA. So basically, like, you got guys like France and Argentina and Nigeria, et cetera, Slovenia. Well, this is Luka's first year, but these guys have been playing together for years. So I think it's time for the United States to put more emphasis on FIBA basketball, which I think they will with having Grant Hill getting ready to take over. But yeah, there's truly no continuity with these teams. And I just don't think it's possible to just say, hey, we got the best players in the world, go win. Like, you don't have a point guard, you don't have a rim protector.
Honestly, and all things, listen, as much as I hate to say this, I mean, Greg Popovich should not be coaching this team because you got to think about Greg Popovich's coaching style. It takes a while for those guys to implement a system. And for Olympic basketball, you don't have that much time.
Nah.
And also, not to mention, your 3 other players that are going to eventually come in, they're fresh off the NBA Finals. You got to consider the jet lag, the fatigue that they got done at NBA Finals last week. It's going to take a while for quote-unquote Popovich system to get used to that. You don't got time for that.
Nah.
So in my opinion, you need a different and probably a younger coach that can implement a season that is easy to understand. easy to get your defensive sets and easy for the offense in terms of ball movement and to be able to get buckets.
Hey, random. Just speaking, NBA basketball, FIBA, et cetera. I just got a notification that says Barack Obama joins NBA Africa. Former U.S. president has joined NBA Africa as a strategic partner. How do you guys?
Hey,
what do you guys think of that?
Obama got that mind, man. Dropping the buckets.
Hey,
So I think being ex-president is probably like the best job ever because you can just go around and do whatever you want.
He can have any career he wants. It's like, I want to be a lawyer today. I want to be this today. He's like, yeah, I'm Barack. I can do it. I ran the country.
Right. It's like, hey, I'm going to lead this. Are you sure? I mean, I led you guys for 8 years. What do you mean?
Exactly.
I can lead anything.
I ran the free world for 8 years. So what can't I do?
Exactly.
I can be a car salesman. I mean, I ran the free world.
Yeah.
Think about it.
He can do he can do whatever he wants and get that $400,000 a year and still keep secret security. That's love.
Like Obama's that
for
guy.
life.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah.
I can put my girls through college and not have a single worry in the world. So
That's what he's doing now.
Oh yeah, he ain't got nothing to worry about.
I mean,
I ain't
but
got
yeah,
no worries.
Team USA. I don't know.
They
I mean,
stink.
it's just crazy. I think you're right in the point of.
And sorry, Carm, but you said I was crazy when I said the old 14 will beat them though.
I don't know, bro. This is. I mean, at least the 04 team had Jason Kidd.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, this is bad. Like, literally, they do not have a true point guard. Like, if you actually had a true point guard, it'd make so much of a difference. But this is bad. And then you got Dame out here looking at. You see that picture where he's shot-eyeing Fournier at the free throw line, and he was like, "Man, these guys do not play like this in the league." Like, I don't
Right, he
understand
said that. Yeah. Like they don't play like this in like the regular season.
All right. Well, my thing is that do you think that maybe the NBA should, in terms of adopt more FIBA rules?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
agree.
mean in terms of not calling dumb fouls like the way that the NBA does anymore, yeah.
I even like the rebounding rule, like ball around the cylinder. When that thing touches or gets anywhere close, Rudy Gobert was swiping them Jones. Like he was taking them away. Like I think that's a great rule. Because then, believe it or not, you might actually get more of a value when it comes to bigs in the NBA. Because it's like, hey, if I can get me a big athletic guy who can take the ball off the cylinder like that, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll consider that. So it could bring a little bit of life back to the big man outside of just having him be a stretch big and make threes.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Paul Gasol. He's playing for his fifth Olympic tournament, 41 years old.
Yeah.
He dropped like 9 points, played like I think about like 20, 25 minutes.
Spain's cool.
Yeah.
Who's that guy that's playing for Argentina?
Which one?
Scola.
Oh, Luis Scola?
Scola?
Oh, he's
I was watching that Kobe clip when Kobe was like saying something. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you something, and they were like arguing on the free throw
Spanish,
line.
right?
Yeah, in Spanish, and Kobe and LeBron's like, Kobe, that's enough, Kobe. LeBron's like scolding Kobe, and Kobe just like, whatever, LeBron, shut up. Like it was really fun. I was like, wow, that's such an interesting moment to catch. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like you don't think about that kind of stuff, and then like now with everything that's happened, it's like that kind of stuff is kind of funny.
Yeah, long time Houston Rocket Luis Scola still getting buckets out there.
With a nice hair. I like his haircut now.
He got that salt and pepper going on.
Yo, shout out to Devin Booker's new
Clooney.
cut.
Yeah.
Shout out to Devin Booker's new cut. I like it. It's cute.
He looks like he's going through some things. I didn't expect to see my man with a 2 even in a headband. Like, yo, who is that? He's taking that NBA Finals hard.
I mean, listen, he said, damn. He said, damn. That was his whole response.
And then the wildest part